Hi, Paul and Joel. If you're watching this, then I have successfully managed to upload it to YouTube, and this is a test viewing. Um, the other possibility is that I'm dead, and much as it pains me to think about that possibility, it is still something that might actually happen. In that line of thinking, um, when Tristan was first born, I had an idea. I wanted to do for when he was older. I wanted to do a project where he and I would build his first computer, but it would be a Raspberry Pi computer inside of a Commodore 64 style case with a full size keyboard. Well, that idea hasn't really panned out so far. But then again, right now he's only 4, and he's now got a brother that's almost a year old. That's perfectly fine. Um, because I actually, after doing a bunch of design work and trying to actually figure out how the hell am I going to actually build this fucking thing, I found something else entirely. I found a 3D printable version of this. Now, this is actually just the Amiga A500 Mini from Retro Games Limited that I purchased for myself for Christmas, and this is not what this video is about. Okay? If I survive this mission and I see you again at Christmas, I'm going to bring this fucker along and we're going to have some fun. Because this thing's actually really cool. It really is. Now then, what's also really super cool about it is representative of a classic computer from the 80s and early 90s, where it was the whole computer packed inside of a fucking keyboard. Why is that cool? Well, screw you. It just is. And anyway, so the full-size version of this, the case that I found that replicates this look, I've already sent to the Facebook chat that we have. There's a link to it that goes to my Google Drive. You're going to need to download that. You're going to need to open it up, and then you're going to need to download a program that I use called Matter Control. Why do I recommend Matter Control? Because it's free. Why am I hiccuping? Because I just had lunch, and I'm in a rush. And I had an argument with Spring earlier, and usual fucking drama with work. Anyway, it's been a shit day. But, damn it, I'm gonna actually get this fucking thing done. So, onward and upward. Alright, when you... Let's go ahead and flip this around to my computer screen. And secure it. There we go. Alright, when you download the thing, you're going to have this right here. Which is a MiG 4. You can go ahead and do the usual thing. You know exactly how. If you get WinRAR, you're going to go ahead and extract that thing, open it all up, and there you go. Now then, next part, Matter Control. Alright, so for Matter Control, what you're going to do is you're going to go here. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, you're just going to hit the plus sign right here. And that'll just, it'll create a new workspace, which is what all of these are. In fact, the one that we're interested in is right here. I've already dragged it in. Now then, this is all the parts for it, okay? This is everything that was in that file. What you're going to notice is there's a few duplicates. Why are there duplicates? Well, there are duplicates because some of these parts are a little bit different than the others. And I'm not going to lie, using Matter Control can get a little bit fucky. If you've ever used a 3D anything program, then you will know just how much of an ass trying to handle some of this shit can be. Can't remember if there's any appreciable difference here. Looks like there's a slight notch there. Why did I go with that one? I don't remember. Okay, well, I don't remember why I went with this particular shell as opposed to this particular shell. They don't really appear to be all that different. Maybe it's just a duplicate. Let's see, top 3 and top 3 plus. Okay, that must mean that there's an extra something or other in there that makes mounting a USB something a lot more easy. Alright, so you're going to notice real quick, this thing's got extra parts here, extra parts there, extra feet, you know, extra bits for the keyboard and all that. Let's see, you've got a blocker and a USB open right there. Now, so here's the plan. Where the fuck is it? Okay, yeah. So you're going to be using these parts here, plus the keyboard bit. And this, I think, is just flipped from something else. Well, whatever. We'll go ahead and go down through the list of bits that I decided on from that pack of stuff that we just downloaded and opened. So, here's the layout on the inside. The Raspberry Pi is going to go here. A full-size keyboard, which I've actually got the keyboard that I wanted to go ahead and use for it over here. It takes a standard-sized, come on, viewfinder. Wow. Really? Okay, there it is. So it takes a standard-sized, full-size keyboard. And I was planning on going ahead and using this one. You might recognize it from a couple of Christmases ago, 2019, when Tristan was born. This was going to be the keyboard that I was going to throw into the Commodore 64 case, but seeing as how it was going to be far too wide for the Commodore 64 case, I decided, screw it, we'll just use the Amiga case. Now then, what are you going to need to do with this to actually get it in there? Well, it's not just going to sit down in there, and you can't harvest any of the plastic from this. So what you're going to do is, you are going to... Did I peel any of the feet off to get this thing apart? No. Cool. So, what you're going to do is, take out all the fucking screws. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be worth it. Paul and or Joel, go ahead and arm wrestle and climb this lovely screwdriver set. Best 3 out of 5 wins, I guess. You can go ahead and use that to crack this open, because that's the only part of my electronics tool set that's staying back here with Spring and the boys. Everything else that you're going to need needle nose pliers, you're going to need wire cutters, you're going to need a screwdriver, like an actual hand screwdriver. I recommend going ahead and buying yourself a precision screwdriver set. I've got 2 of the ratcheting screwdriver sets here that you could probably also use to tighten things down. One of them's got a T thing to it, the other one's just a handle with a bunch of extra crap in there that I've ended up accidentally collecting over the years. Probably much to your chagrin, to my terrible organizational skills, Joel. Anyway, if you want to swap out the keys on this, it's super duper easy. All you need is a key puller. There's 2 right here, they're on my desk. Wait, no, that was a switch puller. The metal one's a switch puller. This is the key puller. Easy to use. All you do is check my viewfinder so you can see what I'm seeing, and then push it in, it'll stay, and then pull. Pop goes the key. There's the switch. I don't think these switches are hot, pluggable, unpluggable. They are not. They are not at all. Okay, so if you want to swap out the keys, different key sets are easy to find up on Amazon. I've actually wish listed a couple in my wish list that is not for Christmas or birthday. Go ahead and check that one. There's a couple that I found that are nice and retro looking. I think they look fantastic. So go ahead and get one of those. I'm sorry, I don't have all of the parts for it. I was planning on going ahead and having all of that stuff ready and waiting and just sitting in a box for whenever I got back to keep in another dusty box until Tristan or Wesley came up and said, "Hey Dad, I want to build a computer." Which is exactly what this project is for. My dad's God and I want to build a computer. Uncle Paul and Joel, or both, can you help us? Will probably be what ends up getting said by my boys to kick off this thing. All right, now then, back to the computer screen. Just need to untighten this bolt. Okay. I had to check my nose hairs. Don't judge. All right. Back to this. So, Raspberry Pi is going to go here. I don't have a Raspberry Pi to hold in my hand right now and show you. Fuck. Damn it. Why is it upside down? That's upside down. Shit. And fuck you, iPhone. Huzzah. Okay, now that you're looking at things right side up, because I'm a dumbass, screw it. I'm not doing another take. We're doing this in one. All right. So Raspberry Pi is going to go right here. The front side ports, I say front side, they're not on the front at all. If you go with a Raspberry Pi 5, let's go ahead and pull that up. Pi 5. Raspberry Pi 5 is the current Raspberry Pi. As you can see, it's got problems displaying on my computer right now because of reasons. All right, here we go. We've got gigabit Ethernet. What looks to be, I think I see some blue right there. Yep, okay, so, yep, Pi 5 8 gig, go with this one, the larger gigabitage version. We've got two micro HDMIs, use, I believe, HDMI 1. Yes, use HDMI 1 as the primary HDMI out. You're going to need a converter cable that'll go from micro HDMI to full-size HDMI, and it's going to need to be male to female. This is your power in. It's USB-C, as you can obviously see. There is apparently another plug on here somewhere. Let's see, camera display lane and PCIe interface. You can go ahead and use this if you want to throw in a full-size spin drive for it or an SSD. Otherwise, it's going to be booting completely, actually no, go ahead and keep it booting completely off of the microSD card, because it'll make things a lot easier just in case they want to update the operating system and what have yous. Now then, as you saw previously in this picture, you've got two USB 3s, two USB 2s, and gigabit Ethernet. All right, so here's how you're going to wire this shit up. Excuse me. You are going to be able to choose what goes where. Move over here, damn it. There we go. All right, let's see here. We've got a little tiny slot that's out of frame, so I need to move my camera over. So this slot here, you're going to need to get a part that is going to allow you to take a micro SD card, and it's going to put a slot facing out right here. Okay, and it's going to be mountable. It's going to be on a ribbon cable that'll plug in on the bottom of the Pi. You'll mount it right here, and then the micro SD card will just slot straight in there. Here is going to be your HDMI spot. You can use a 2-up USB 3 plug here, or you can just send a pair of USBs here, and there's also a USB here. So you're going to have, and then, you know, some extras here. Now, here's the idea. Why do I have all these USBs if there's only 4 on there? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to find my, here it is. find this guy, or at least a similar one. You're going to crack it open. You got screws on the bottom. This end is going to go ahead and plug straight into the Pi, and it also has its own power source that it takes, which I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap around it and throw into the box of parts, which is right here. So, the layout. Right here is a lot of nice empty space. This is where you're going to have that USB hub. You're going to run cables from that USB hub, one here, 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 and you can even plug a sub-hub into it and then route another two over here, or over here. This will be kind of dealer's choice as to what you do with it. Step 2, you're going to take one of the USB 2s and you're going to run a pass-through out to one of these. Like I said, the hub can go here, here, and then over here, or wherever. But choose one of these. This is going to mount in with the floppy drive. But choose one of these to go ahead and be the one where the mouse actually, to be the dedicated mouse port. Now, the keyboard is going to plug into the other USB 2. So you've got your I/O devices, your human interface devices, going to individual USB ports. Now then, if you want to split that up and have one USB port going to a standard USB 2 hub, which then splits off, and then the keyboard will plug into one, and then the mouse gets routed out to the back, so you've got one for the mouse, and then you've got more USB ports to plug in here. Go for it. Okay? That'll add more fun and more interest and stuff. Next, cooling. You know I like fans. You know that I like cooling things. So, in the Boxo parts that I've got laying around, that I've had laying around for a while, I've got two of these guys, okay? It is a USB plugged cooling fan. Sorry. And all it does is take power. So, that, one of them is going to mount right here in this little slot. The next one, and that's for, you're going to need to orient it so it's pulling air in, okay? You can mount another one up top side, around about in here somewhere. I recommend somewhere in through here, go ahead and carve a little bit of the plastic, or learn matter control and dick around with this thing so you can figure out how to route some air out through here with a mounted fan. Now for the Raspberry Pi itself, I'm going to recommend getting the Raspberry Pi 5. Raspberry Pi Mini Ice Tower. This is, again, not loading. Delightful. I need to stop trying to rotate a web page because I'm dumb. Alright, so this right here is going to plug straight into a dedicated slot on the Raspberry Pi. Probably one of these two guys right here that appear to give me problems as soon as I try to click on them. Okay, so that's UART, and then I don't know what that is. And it's also not labeled. Let's go ahead and open this image. Good grief. Open image in new tab. Okay, there we go. Joyful. So that's a really shitty picture. I should have prepared better for this. All right. Doing it raw. Delightful. J5. No idea what that means. Okay, so hat GPIO interface. This is apparently PoE. I forget what the fuck that's for. Oh, there we go, fan. Right there. That's where the fan's going to plug in. So they have a dedicated spot right on the board for the fan to plug in. Fan's going to mount on here. It's going to have some screw things, some screw downs, so that you can actually plug that shit in. Let's go ahead and go here. Pi 5 ice tower. All right. Images. That's the Pi 3. No, that's not the Pi 3. That's... the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Okay, so the ice tower sits kind of high in the normal configuration, which this is the normal configuration. That's why you're going to need to go with the ice, mini ice tower. It's going to have some brackets that come along with it that will enable you to mount it properly. Never mind, that's the stand-up ice tower. Shit. Well, they made a mini version for the 4, which I've got plugged into my 4, which is on the back of that television, and is currently acting as my Pi hole, which is why some of these links don't open. All right, here we go. This is the mini ice tower. As you can see, it comes with some brackets that are going to mount straight to your 4 corners. So, you know, and it'll definitely have these little extra brass bits here that'll go between your mounting things. Back to here. Now in here you're going to need to go ahead and drill through on the bottom to the marked points. Don't drill from the other side, drill from the top, and make sure that you've got a nice hollow space underneath so you're not drilling the tail or whatever desk. I've got a drill, but I recommend just, you know, when you print it, it's easier if you just go ahead and cut this inside of the software itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this part here, copy, go to this other workspace that's nice and empty, and paste. Okay, now we can fuck with it. As you can see, it's got extra bits on the bottom side because I have things merged underneath the plane so I could, you know, orient and match things up. Now when you print things off, you're going to see all these major bits right here. You see this? No, you don't. You don't see that at all. Fuck. All right. So, this big-ass fin right here. And this big-ass fin right here. And then here and here on the other side, this is not one fin, this is 2. These are actually meant for printing orientation. So it's going to be printed standing this way. Same thing for the others, as you can see. I know that's upside down. All right. So it's going to be printed in this orientation. It's going to be printed standing up. So your print lines are going to be going in a slant. Okay. Once it's printed off, you're just going to break these off. Just snap them straight off. And then you're going to need the cutters to come in afterwards and then trim the plastic so it's flush. Maybe take some sandpaper and carefully sand it. Your cutters are going to look like this. I have 2 pairs. I have a blue one and a green one. The green one's actually in the print closet. I realize this video is going long, but there's a lot of information to give you. So, how to actually cut custom holes straight into this. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here, take a cylinder, you're going to make it taller, you're going to make it thinner. You can actually come over here and specify height, diameter, and how many sides. We're going to go ahead and go 360 for the number of sides, which is going to make it perfectly round. The height, we're going to make that 50. Just going to make it, you know, probably too tall, but screw it. We actually want that extra height. As for diameter, we're going to set it to 10. There we go. That should be about right. Now then, right here, when I touch this dot, you can actually see it says 2.5. That 2.5 is in millimeters, so that's 2.5 millimeters on one side and then 3 on the other. That's because I was dicking with things earlier manually and I fucked it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to correct that. Punch in 2.5. Boom. Now it's perfectly round. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go copy, move that one into place, paste, move that one into place. After I get things properly oriented on the camera again, because I'm a doofus. Paste again, boop, 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 and there it is. So once you copy an object, you can just paste infinitely, and then there it is. Next, we're going to select everything by drawing a big rectangle around it, let go. Then we're going to go up here to where you see subtract. You're going to click on subtract, you're going to get this, and then you're going to select cylinder, 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 update. And now what you're going to see is down here, it says subtract. This means the computer is now crunching a shitload of numbers to reshape this entire fucking object to allow these 4 holes going straight through it. This might take a minute, but once it's done, we're going to have another step. Now, do not take that. I'm not going to save what I've done here because this is this is fucked up. You will also notice in this closer up view, you've got some open tab points here and here. Go ahead and break those off. All right, and now that we've got it, you've noticed that the whole thing has gone white. So you're gonna click off of it. You're gonna click on it again. It's white again, right? So you're gonna go up to here where the mouse is. It says ungroup. You're gonna click ungroup. Now, it's its own object again, and those holes are drilled into the model itself, meaning you don't have to actually drill holes manually. You can shape, reshape, cut, paste, copy, manipulate however you please the model inside the computer before you ever put it in the printer to print it off, meaning you can make whatever changes you want in here before you actually create the thing. If during the creation of it you get it and then you go to put things together and you find out, oh dear, it's fucked up, don't worry. Remanipulate in here, reprint. Or if it's something super minor, you can be like, no, I can go ahead and, fix that just by shoving a drill bit through there and putting some finger pressure to carve it out just a little bit wider. That should be perfectly fine. Now then, let's go back to the thing. Here we go. All right. This model, as you can see, has hinges, feet. I think that's a foot. I'm not entirely certain. I think there may have been a manual that came with the model. There wasn't, I'm stupid. Okay, cool. Right, well, let's see, where's Cults 3D? All right, so Cults 3D. Here's how you're going to get into My Cults 3D. You're gonna go over here where it currently has me still logged in from last time that I was in here, and you're gonna hit log in. Now then, once you're in log in, you can get a profile, and you can go to, this is the models of things that I have made personally, or manipulated from other stuff. There's a comm badge that I made. There's a charging stand I made, whatever. All right, downloads. Yeah, all right, so you're gonna go to this one. And let's go here, model description. Does that have any other interesting information that we might need? No, it does not. Darn. Okay, so there's no instructions for printing. Well, that's fine. So, once you've got things plugged in and wired up, remember to pop out these tab parts here so you've got some wire pass-throughs. Your fan's gonna mount in here, the wire for it's gonna come all the way around, plug in. The wires for the hub are gonna go out through here, plug in. Wire for the keyboard, it's gonna be sitting right here, so that wire is just gonna plug in here. Use lots of zip ties to keep things oriented properly, please. Elsewise, it's going to be a rat's nest on the inside, and nobody likes that. So, assembly. There is an assembly video for this that you can find online, but I'm pretty sure that you are more than smart enough, both of you, to figure out how this thing actually will go together. This part right here is the flimsiest part that may end up giving you issues during printing. Don't stress too much about it. If it is a pain in the ass, then, you know, just be careful. All right, now you'll also notice there appear to be some screw holes on it. That's exactly what these are. You're probably going to screw the keyboard straight in there. This also, you're going to notice, seems to be a pass-through for a light source. It is. What you can do is, if you can find and then manipulate and make an acrylic tube, you can actually create a light tube that will go from the power/access light that's on the Pi 5 or 4 or 3 that's usually right here, and then routes all the way over to here. Is that going to be easy? Fuck no. Am I going to blame you for not going full retard with that? No, not at all. It'll be fine if those are just, you know, open and what have you. I'm not going to be particularly mad about that. Now, you'll also notice on the keyboard, when you're looking at it in its own case, there are 3 LED lights right here. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to measure those using calipers, which I have. They're in a nondescript brown box. Looks like this. Here it is. Very simple, straightforward. Usage of them, you'll be able to figure it out in 5 minutes, so I'm not going to bother telling you how to use it, because it's very much, excuse me, I've got the hiccups, it's very much self-explanatory. All right, once you've actually got that, you can actually go ahead and carve your light holes in here, and then send that off to the printer. These are the only parts that are going to be printed on the printer bed flat, okay? So, we've got the 3D model, we've got it ready to go, we've made our manipulations, we are ready to go ahead and print this crazy, stupid-ass thing that your brother wants you to help his sons build in the event of him no longer being around to do it for you, or with his own kids on his own. So, what are we going to do? We are going to use Prusa Slicer. Why are we going to use Prusa Slicer? Well, I've used Creality Slicer, which is a offshoot of, the fuck is it an offshoot from? Cura. And for Creality Slicer, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need, no, sorry, not for Creality, for Prusa, there's a learning curve. And I wish I had enough space to zoom out. Okay, good, there we go. It's right on the edge of the desk, though. All right, so you've got print settings, you've got filament settings, you've got printer settings. Printer settings, you're going to want to make sure that you've got Creality Ender 3 BL Touch 0.4mm nozzle selected. Filament settings, diameter of filament 1.75mm always, extrusion multiplier 1, density 1.24, and then don't worry about the cost and all that shit. What you need to worry about here is the temperatures, first layer, other layers, and then the bed temperature, first layer and other layers. Most materials are going to be around about 60 degrees for the bed for it to actually stick, like between 50 to 60 degrees for it to actually stick. Now once you've got your temperatures set, the temperatures you're going to get off of the spool for the plastic itself. Usually it's printed right on there. If you want to make this thing out of wood, or if they want a different color, it's all good. Like whatever color they say they want, go ahead and make it in that color. Filament is super duper cheap. You can get it up on Amazon. Let's go ahead and fire up Amazon, and let's go 1.75 mm, no commas, PLA, enter. And we've got some stuff. What do we got? We got Elegoo that's in black. We've got white. We've got rainbows. We've got metallics. We've got flat colors. All kinds of crazy ass colors. So if they say, I want it in race car red, well, there you go. Race car red. Or metallic race car red, there you go. Metallic race car red. Make sure that you're only sending PLA through the printer. I don't know how well it's going to play with ABS or PETG. There we go. That's what I was trying to remember. But one thing you must absolutely never fucking do unless you want to completely break my miracle machine and piss me off from beyond the grave and disappoint my kids and probably anger my wife is put pen filament through it. Pen filament does not work on a 3D printer. I know this from experience and having to clean that shit out of there and being severely frustrated with it not sticking to the damn bed. Don't use pen filament. Just don't do it. Don't even consider doing it. Yes, I know, that price is very, very tempting. Don't do it. It's not worth it, and it's going to cost you more in repair and confusion and not knowing what the hell you're doing than it will be worth. So, just don't do it. Go with actual spools of filament. Now then, how many rolls of filament should this take? I estimate probably about one, like a whole damn roll to print this thing off. As for print time, I'm estimating about a full week of just printing these parts off. Why do I say that? Well, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. Print settings. Layer height. Go with 0.16 millimeters. That's actually going to give you some really good fidelity on how good the print looks, how fine the details are. Let me just go ahead and use this as an example. This is the PlayStation 5 controller stand that I made. As you can see, you can really clearly see that PS5 logo in there, and it looks pretty darn good. Now, of course, you've got a little bit of zitting on there. It's not that big of a deal for me for this particular material, because I got this material at a rummage bin store for about $3. Okay? And that is not wood, that is PLA, that is just brown. Or it might be wood, I'm not entirely certain. No, that's not wood. It does not smell like wood. Now, if you want to go with wood, then what you're going to need to do is you go on here, you're going to punch in PLA wood, and now you've got your different woods. I have never used OVV3D. I have never used Amelin. I have used Hatchbox. Hatchbox is the cheaper one that I have used before. I've also never used Creality wood. Now, the Creality filaments are typically the stuff that is made specifically by Creality for Creality printers. And they are meant to work the best with that printer. So if you want to go with all Creality stuff, cool, go for it. But bear in mind, you don't actually have to. Now then, for this print, I'm going to recommend perimeters be 5. That's because that's going to give you more structural stability on the outside. As for solid layers, top is 7. No, we're going to reduce that to 5, so it's 5 all around. Okay, so bottom is 5, top is 5, walls are 5. That way it's the same thickness all around. And for your infill, we're not on infill yet. Those filament settings, cooling, advanced. Okay, so cooling, don't worry about it. Advanced, don't worry about it. Filament overrides, don't worry about it unless you find something catastrophically wrong that you want to go ahead and dick with. Also, the reason why I'm going with Prusa and recommending Prusa is because Prusa is the easiest software that I have used so far. It is also free. You can download this for free straight from Prusa. It's legit, no viruses, no subscribe to our thing type of bullshit. It's just poof, here it is, have fun. We don't actually make money off of our slicing software, we make it off of our printers and our other stuff that we sell. That's Prusa's thing. Now, infill. On print settings, it's the second one down. On infill, I'm going to recommend infill density be about 25. Why? Because you get angry, you hit the computer, and you don't want it to actually break. Or at least not too badly. If you want to go with 100 and use just all your filament, you can. But 25 to 50 is going to be the best. Don't mess with anything else in here, just tell it what density of infill you want. It will handle the rest. Skirt and brim. That's the next part. We're going to go ahead and drop that to 0 because it can try to print off of the bed if the part is too large. Let's see, outer brim, no brim. There we go. Support material. We don't need it, so leave that empty. Auto-generated supports, take that off as well. We don't need it. Speed. Don't worry about it. It'll print as quickly or slowly as it takes. You can look at the filament itself, and you can see on the spool, it'll typically say, you know, what's the maximum speed that it can be printed at. Go ahead and go at the maximum, and I only say that because of the alterations that I've made to my printer, which, in all honesty, I don't know how fast it can go now. Multiple extruders, you don't have them. There's only one on there. Advanced, don't fuck with it. Just don't. Now then, platter. Here we go. Here's a nice empty platter with a thing, and we need to identify one of these lay flat parts. This is top 6. Okay, so you click on a part, and it'll highlight for you. Click on a part, it'll highlight for you. There it is, so top 6. Minimize that, go in here, grab top 6, slap it in there, poof, there it is. Now we're going to go down here to slice now, hit slice now, and wait, and bada boom, there it is. Looks nice. Looks gorgeous. Yes, it do. Now then, this is obviously printed with the face down. It's going to have a little bit of texturing. As you can see, you've got some slanted print lines, and then you can see the walls right here. Okay? That will have an effect on the overall aesthetics of the end product. But that's okay. We're not going to worry too much about that. Actually, in all honesty, it might be a better plan to go back here to it being unprinted, and then we're going to click on, nope, there we go. There we go. Now we've just flipped it completely upside down. As you can see, curved part top. Shit, I did not mean to move it. All right, there we go. And then the inside part is on the bottom. Things to watch out for. These holes here. You may have to take a mini drill, like just a drill bit that'll fit in there, and then put some finger pressure to, damn it. Fuck it, duck. Come on, Prusa, you're making me look like a retard. All right. You may need to come in here and then use some finger pressure with a drill head to just sort of drill that out by hand a little bit. Take note, there's also this lovely little lip right here. This groove will correspond to correspond to, you can probably see it in the picture by now, this tiny little groove right here that doesn't want to freaking cooperate with me so I can actually show it to you. So you're gonna have to deal with that. But anyway, that'll just keep things lined up properly. All right, back to the slicer. So you've got your thing done, you've got it ready to go. Doesn't matter what part is facing forward. This is the forward part of the tray, which means the front part of the printed part is going to be towards the back wall. Under the stairs, we hit slice now. And now we've got our texture lines on the actual top side outside. Okay? So you can run your fingernail up that and it'll make a little zip sound and it'll be fun. Yeah, kids like that. All right. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so you got your printed part. What do you do next? You're going to hit export G-code. Now when you hit export G-code, make sure that you've got your microsd card. This is not the one that I use for my printer. And it's going to go into that little microsd right there. You're going to pop it out. Going to slide the microsd in, wait for the click, and it's in. And the computer should recognize it. There it is. Okay, cool. So we're going to hit cancel right now, and now we're going to hit export again. Now we can go to this PC, scroll down, and SDXC. And there is a TV show that my mother-in-law likes. Anyway, it's a Western. So you can see right here the actual name of the thing. Okay, you're just going to hit save. And count to 45 or 30, and it should be there. Minimize this, go over here to PC, pull that out, and poof, there it is. Next, the 3D printer itself. All right, so, kids made a mess, per usual. Here is the 3D print closet. Let me go ahead and set up the camera a bit better, so that hopefully you can see. Bear with me. I know I'm doing this all in one take, and I could just edit it and, you know, put in other stuff. Maybe I'll do that in the iMovie or what have you later on. But as for right now, I'm just not going to bother. Just like Clint Eastwood, one take. Alright, let's see, where's my camera thing? Camera remote. The hell fell down? Whatever. Alright. Yep. Right. Hi. Alright, so, you can't see the 3D printer. Let's see if I can adjust this. Get it down a little bit. No, I can't. Please don't hate me. Alright. A little bit of a floaty mess. Alright, so here's the 3D printer. Here is the new head that Mom and Dad got me. Brain board is down in there. In fact, I'm just going to take this. All right, so I fucked up earlier. Now you're looking at a completely different aspect ratio. I apologize for that. I know the other one saved, though, because I looked earlier. All right, so this is the glass print bed. You're going to notice there's a bunch of gunge on it. That gunge is actually purple Elmer's glue stick. I've got some more right here. So what you're going to do is, you don't have to mash it too hard. Just pop the top off, which is easier said than done with one hand. God darn it. There we go. Next, on the print bed. Wait, make sure you got some. All right, it's about that much out. And you're just going to go in, you know, kind of a slanty pattern, one way. You don't have to press too hard. Slanty pattern, other way. Again, you don't have to press too hard. Now then, you notice I've only got 3 anchors on this thing and not one right there. That's because this guy right here likes to collide with the other anchor and give me a massive fucking headache because it tries to break itself. because 3D printers, if anything, are absolutely fucking suicidal, which is something that I've had to contend with. Now then, also notice, whenever I move the print bed too much, it starts to generate enough power from the stepper motor to start booting up the machine, and that's with every stepper motor here. Okay? Now then, step 1 for printing a thing. We've got stuff on this microsd card, which was actually already right there. Take the microsd card, very, very carefully stick it into the slot. Now, if it feels like it's too loose, if you're not getting any resistance on it when you're plugging it in, that means that you've missed the slot and you've actually got it slightly up. So angle it a little bit down and then press in. Hear a click, good to go. All right, now then, the brain board is right in here. Only open this up if you have proper instructions and have done some research and know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're probably going to kill it. Please don't kill it. Next, after you've got that in, this is the filament dryer. You're going to take your filament, you're going to drop it in here, you're going to thread it out through this hole, and then you're going to power it on by pressing this button here. There we go. And right now it's automatically heating itself up to 50 degrees, 55 I think. The amount of time that you set it for is this button here. You press and hold, and then it will, there you go. And this is how many hours. Right is up, left is down. So we're going to go ahead and set it for 24 hours because we don't know how long it's going to take. And this thing, you don't have to worry about it melting itself. It's just going to warm up the PLA and dry it out. This right here has been the greatest damn thing that I've ever gotten for my printer because I found out that my filament was wet, and that is what was causing so many fucking print errors and making me want to pull out my own hair and teeth and swap them around. Next, we come around to this side to the power switch. We turn it, if I can look at the thing and not the camera, turn it on. The bed leveler here will send itself to the thing, and now we're booted up. So we click, go down to, let's get a configuration. We're going to go to probe Z offset, that's what we actually want. This is the probe Z offset that it needs to be at. Right brings it up, left brings it down. Okay? So, negative 1.9. If you have it higher than that, then it's going to be waving around in the air, spaghetti stringing everywhere. Lower, it's going to head crash into the glass and start carving a rut. We don't want either of those. See our touch, don't worry about it. And if you want to have a little bit of fun, then you can go back to main, go up to motion, auto home. And it begins to move on its own. It's got the probe, and it's coming down. As you can see, I apologize for shaky cam. I really do. Anyway, while that's moving down very slowly, you'll notice up here I've got a whole nother filament spool. Why is that there? Well, it's just to act as sort of a pulley wheel path going into the extruder. I did have it initially just right here on the handle, but it was causing issues. Alright, there it is. Now everything's zeroed out. Now let's say we want to print something. Go to main, and we go to info screen. Okay, so we're back at home. Scroll down to print from media. Click. And let's say we want to do let's make a dog. This is one of the test prints that originally came with the printer. And, you know, it's relatively fast. Start print, select print, Click again, and now it starts heating things up. This indicates the bed temperature, this indicates the nozzle temperature. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and put you back on the stand after I get things oriented properly, because it's a royal pain in the neck. Anyway, it's an important idea to go ahead and sit there and watch as this thing starts, so that way you can actually see what the hell it's doing. What does that mean? That means I need to lower the camera down. There we go. Alright. So, right now, it's still heating up the print bed, which it does first. And this is honestly, this is where you're playing, sorry, I didn't mean to kick the camera. This is where you're playing the waiting game. This is honestly the part where the kids are going to start getting bored, because nothing's happening. But what is happening is that the print bed itself is warming up. You can put your fingers on it and feel that. After every single print, it's a good idea to go ahead and take the print bed, take it to the kitchen, wash it off with soap and water, like regular dish soap and water. Also, you're going to notice that these print beds, I've got 3 of them, have 2 sides. One of them is nice and glossy, okay, like smooth glass. The other side is textured and says Creality. You might think to yourself straight out of the bat, oh, well, this side that says Creality, this is the side that I should print on. It is not. It is not if you want to avoid this happening. See that lovely scar? That is from somebody printing on this and then not being able to get the print off, and then having to use a scraper to damage the texturing to get the print off. That's the royal pain in the ass part, and I just knocked things down. And I have no idea what I just knocked down. Oh, a glue stick. Good. Nothing important. So, before you put a fresh print bed on there, make sure it's been cleaned, and make sure that you're not touching the actual area that's going to be printed on with your human greasy hands, because your hands secrete oil regardless of anything. That oil is going to prevent the plastic itself from actually bonding to the glass during printing, and that's what we want. You can print on bare glass, no glue. In fact, I recommend doing a test where you're printing with just glass, no glue, so that you can test whether or not you're going to need the glue in the first place. Now, what it's doing right now is auto-leveling the bed. So it's taking these readings so it can see exactly what orientation the print bed is in. Once it's actually got that information, it'll then start the actual print itself. Because right now, the head is at 200, the bed is at 45. These test prints, I've only altered them in the sense that I have included the instructions for it to auto-level the bed and home all axes. And if you want to know how to do that, then you're going to have to look it up online, because I don't remember right now exactly off the top of my head. I think it's G48 and G49 lines, and you can just throw them in after the initial instruction set. Just punch in G48, and then there's some other language in there that you need to use also. I think it's a colon. Alright, here we go, it's printing. Alright, let's see if I can get you a better view. There we go. As we can see, it appears to be not sticking in one spot. Yes. Yes, it failed to stick in one spot. So, for when that happens, we're going to need to come in with some tweezers. Now then, all of your extemporaneous printing tools are right here. These are your tweezers for grabbing something off of the bed to prevent the head from fucking things up. This is your mallet. This is a scraper. This is your extra pair of cutters. And these are your other tweezers for lifting other stuff up off the bed. I don't remember if there's anything else in this cup. There is not. Okay. That's an actual level for leveling the bed prior to actually starting the print. Shouldn't need that because I've already done all of that, as long as Spring hasn't moved in the interim. If Spring does choose to move in the interim between here and Texas, then the actual box for this is somewhere in here. Please follow the instructions for dismantling this, and then follow your own intelligence as to how to actually get the thing packed away properly. Now then, for the minor print error that we saw earlier in the back, it appears to not matter because the print head just sort of went over it already, melted it back into place, but it does seem to leave a little bit of gunge. Yes, okay, you can see me doing this, which can be a little bit of an issue. I want to try to get it. Ow. Ow. Fuck. I can't get it. Oh well. Can't get it, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, hopefully. But anyhow, so now it's printing off the dog. We're not going to sit here for the entire print of the dog. But as you can see, this is how simple it gets. This is how simple I've tried to make it, so that it's almost push button get toy. So all you should really need to do is a major amount of work inside of the computer to get things oriented right and set up right and ready to go. Shove it through Prusa, feed it into here, tell it to print. The only step here that I'd say go ahead and take your time on is the filament dryer. You go ahead and set the filament dryer up and have it run for about, I'd say, an hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2, before you actually begin the print. That way the filament should actually be dry before it starts printing. What else? There's got to be something else. There's got to be something I'm forgetting. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Put that over there. Alright. Now, with everything else, any of my tools that you want, go ahead and, do, if either of you see a tool of mine that both of you want, rock, paper, scissors to see who gets it initially, or just take note of exactly what it is, see if you can find it online, and then, rock, paper, scissors to see who gets it and who has to buy it. As for the printer itself, I would be greatly appreciative if one of you did actually take it to keep it nice and keep it taken care of, because this is something that I do want my kids to have in the future. That's actually why I've taken such pains to improve it, not just so that I can have a better 3D printer, but also so that it can be, so it can have some more longevity. Now, of course, in the years to come, 3D printers are going to get a hell of a lot better, and they're going to be a hell of a lot fancier, and they may even get to the point where all you have to do is feed in filament and throw a model that you've downloaded off the internet, and then it should slice it on its own and then start spitting it out at you. Are we at that point yet? No. Is that a possibility for the future? Yeah. In fact, I hope things get that easy. But anyhow, for right now, this is as hands-on as it's going to take. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, my filament stock is down here in these cubbies. I've got some wood. I think the silk pink is Spring's. The silk gold is mine. And then of course there's white, gray, black, and brown, which is what this is. This is some more filament that we got from the rummage bin store for, again, $3 because it was super cheap. And also I've got, yeah, no, that one's empty. I have a 4th glass print bed just in case. The reason why I have so many glass print beds is if you're doing a large number of prints, like with this Amiga case. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure they're all cleaned off. You're going to make sure they're all sitting, you know, back over there in the corner. And once one part prints off, you can immediately undo the anchors, take it off, put it on the kitchen table so it can cool off, and then take the next one, slap it down, anchor it, glue it if you know that you need to or not, and then start the next print, and it'll go. Now then, as for actually getting the print off of the bed, which is another major issue that you can end up running into. The reason why I recommended trying to see if you can print on just bare glass without any glue is because the way that it actually works is, so you've got the glass here, you've got the plastic here. As the glass warms up, as we all know, when things get warm, the molecules spread apart. Same thing for the plastic, the molecules are spread apart. As one gets squirted down onto the other, they kind of bond together a little bit, molecularly. As they cool off, the glass pushes the plastic back off, and the plastic closes up around it. So that after, I'd say about an hour, maybe 2, maybe 3, you can just walk straight up to it, take that mallet, and I've got a plastic, here it is. Here we go. You take this plastic scraper, put this edge right here, I might need to sharpen that. Put this nice edge right here at the base of it, and then, you know, just smack with the hammer, just wrist strength really, or finger strength really, and it should just pop straight off the glass. And you know, you'll have to slide it off because there'll be an air seal. You won't be able to pick it straight up without also potentially picking the glass up. But you know, it'll slide straight off, and it'll be perfect and pretty and ready to roll for assembly. All right, so. I hope this has been informative. I hope that I actually do make it back. Let me go ahead and get this. Yep. All right, I'm in frame. I hope that I do actually make it back. I hope that, you know, I hope that the instructions that I've given you here end up not having to actually get used, because I'm not here. But, you know, maybe I'll end up using these instructions for myself in the future because I forgot something. Or maybe at some point in the future, if I do make it back, we'll all 3 be able to do this project with my kids, and your kids, hopefully. If you hopefully have kids. I don't know why I said that. But to Tristan and Wesley, I love you. I'm watching over you. I'll always be there. Even if I'm not there in body, I'll be there. Paul and Joel, please take care of my sons. If they need something, please be there for them. As for all of my mini systems that I have set up on top of my entertainment center, you know, whenever you're visiting them, break them out, plug them in, have fun, enjoy them. That's exactly what they're there for. Paul, if you want to teach Wesley and Tristan how to code in BASIC, I've got the full-size Commodore 64, you know, right there, full-size keyboard and everything. So, and I had a fun time messing with that a few months ago. With the VR system, you know, again, have fun. Probably gonna edit this part out. But yeah, just please be there for them. Please take care of them. You know, I'm leaving everything to them, ultimately. As with the 3D printer, I'd like you to basically take stewardship of it, one of you, until they can use it properly. And while you've got stewardship of it, please use it, and please take care of it. Learn how to repair it. Learn what parts of it are going to break. I can actually tell you right now, one part that is going to definitely break is, or that's going to wear out over time, is the actual metal nozzle, where the plastic actually comes out. After so many miles of plastic, literal miles of plastic have been put through it, you're going to need to turn the thing off, raise the gantry all the way up. There's a bit of rubber there. Use your phone, take a picture of the orientation that that's in, peel that rubber piece off, and then one of my socket screwdriver sets will actually fit that nozzle head just right. Look at what kind of nozzle head it is. I think it's a steel one. Hit Amazon, order a new 0.4 millimeter steel nozzle head, take the other one off, it just screws straight off. Take the next one, screw it straight on. Now, if you see instructions online saying that you have to cut and crimp and splice and resize and dick around with, in general, any piece of Bowden tube, you don't, because that's an all-metal hot end. There's no Bowden in there whatsoever. There's no plastic tubing whatsoever. Sorry, TPE tube. All right. Shit, I forgot some things. Move, cat. Get this remarted just right. Shit! I'm not editing that part out because it's funny. Okay. Alright, so something that I forgot previously. As you saw earlier on the Pi 5, it's got a spot for a USB-C plug. Alright, well, what does that mean? That means that it needs USB-C power, right? How am I going to supply that power when the thing's on the inside? Are we going to have any cables and shit dangling off? Fuck no. Why? Because that looks like shit. And if you know me, I like my stuff to look nice. So, what are we going to do? We are going to sift through this box of parts so I can actually find what I'm after, because I started this video without any kind of preparation because I'm an idiot. Alright, here we go. Alright, so right in, scroll out, move over, scroll in, reorient, and get annoyed because things are slow. Really? Really, Matter Control? Fuck you. Fuck you. Asshole. Really? Why you do that? What the shit? That's right, this thing... Discard. 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 Fuck you. Gosh, damn it. Set that there. Okay. So. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't think it was doing that earlier. Okay, it's got to be the number of things that are on the damn platter. All right. Boom. This is going to be on the inside of the case. What are you going to need to do? You're going to need to cut the plastic on this so that comes down flush with here. Just basically cut from, I'd say, right above the screw hole point all the way around to the other side, and just take that piece of plastic and just throw it away. This part, you're going to need to drill through a little bit and anchor it down, okay? Next, so I've got a wall plug in there. So what? I'm a jackass, right? Ha ha ha. Here's how we're going to supply outside power. What you are going to need to do, this obviously is going to be standing too damn tall for the Amiga Pi case. You can orient it this way. And you're going to put this part in a new hole that you might have to craft right here. Okay? So right about there. That way on the inside you've got all these lovely wires coming off. Now remember, let's see, one of these is power, one of these is ground, one of these is, yeah, one's plus, one's minus, one's ground. Yep. All right, yellow is ground, blue is power, and red is the other guy. Yep. Yep. Okay. And there's also a fuse. Now this thing is meant to replace the same kind of plug that's on the back of your computer. Okay? But what you're going to do is, wall power is going to come straight into here through one of them nice thick cords. And then on this guy, where's my damn screwdriver? I really should have prepared better for this. Not gonna lie. I really should have prepared better for this. And spring has been getting into my tools and throwing things around, so it might take a minute. Here we go. All right. Middle. As you can see, it's got two screw points, one up top, one down below. So it actually mounts in there nice and easy. Again, these are parts that I've had just waiting in the wings, sitting around for a long time. Why? Because, if anything, I like to plan for the future, even when I'm not there. The future that I might not be present for. Shit, not me to the camera. Dadgummit, come on. Trying to not lose screws. Almost got it freed. Okay, there's one. Ouch. And there's two. Oh, hey, paper bits. Don't need those. Or maybe I might. Okay, so. So, with this guy, right here, you're going to put red and blue on these, and then green is going to take the yellow one for ground. And these guys easily marry up, just like I want to say either that there, or come in over on this side. Stick them right in there. It should work fine. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And then just tighten down the screws. If I can get that freed out. There we go. And for the ground part, same basic thing. You know, basic idea. You're gonna come into the side and then just, you know, I'll screw it. You'll figure it out. You're smart enough. But anyhow, so that's how power is going to be supplied. So, the Pi itself, I recommend going ahead and getting the official Pi power supply from their website. Plug one of them in here. Next, you're going to need a plug for the power source for the USB hub. That's going to go in here. Fans will go here and here. So this is where you're powering the whole thing from on the inside. All right, that is the last bit of planning that I did for this crazy, stupid-ass idea from 2019 that I've just been sitting on for ever long. Where's that other screw? There it is. Again, if I'm not here, please do this project with my sons when they ask for their own computers. Now, by the time that they are old enough to do that, they might be, 8 or 9. And the Raspberry Pi that's available could be the Pi 9 or what have you. Go ahead and get the biggest, baddest, beefiest Pi you can. And then do some research to see what version of Windows can be actually loaded on there. Or if Raspbian is hefty enough at the time, then go ahead and throw common Raspbian on there. Now then, if you need to know how to actually fuck around with Raspbian, all of the instructions can be found on their website. There's lots of tools on there that have definitely changed since the last time I was up there and doing anything with it. So, you're going to need to look up those instructions for yourself, because any kind of information that I give you right now will be obsolete by the time this plan actually comes to fruition. Again, if I'm not here. All right, that's it from me. Hopefully nothing ever comes of this video, but just in case it's needed, here it is.